promise myself to make shorter, more frequent content this time because the process of researching, writing, and editing a 1 or 2 hour video every once in a while is already pretty exhausting, and every time it has diminishing returns. But I want to talk to you about this exhaustion, or rather, the exhausting obsession of YouTube and other social media to keep you hooked to their sites by having you constantly vomit content onto their sites so they keep their eyes hooked for the sake of ad revenue. This is no way a video about me quitting, believe it or not. I've recently seen a particular video about how monetization of platforms drives creative work to become and be twisted into nothing more than mere consumer products, and it could not ring more true than ever. Creative expression within these algorithms, like the one in YouTube or Twitter, always ends up being an afterthought when the main priority is to push as much product as possible. Not art or any other creative medium, mind you, just product. Content, if you will. I really fucking hate how the word content serves now to oversimplify and generalize any sort of creative medium, whether it is a YouTube video or a movie or a song, or the whole implications of how we treat any art form as merely a piece of content that is only meant to be consumed and chewed up and spit out like a disposable bubble gum before moving on to the next piece of content really says a lot about not just how the capitalist class treats art itself, but also how the consumer treats art itself. It's just plainly disrespectful to the idea of art, even when all of the expression and meaning and even its soul is crushed and blended into this pink slime we call content. Don't get me wrong, this is nothing new. Even in the 90s, the problem resided more into how it generated quick social capital on the internet through sheer popularity raising. And the video I mentioned earlier clearly mentions that case. After all, no mere mortal owns anything in this piece of land we call the internet. It's all the same techno-feudalism all over, babe. But at this point, I think I already said the obvious about the Skinner box experiment we call social media. You don't need to look further, we already did a video on that term. I want to instead divert your attention to the fact that, well, we as a human species allowed this because, what the hell is wrong with you? I want to ask a sincere question, and I want you to leave a comment down below with your sincere answer here. Not just for engagement farming, but because I am genuinely concerned. When is the last video essay on YouTube that you watch where you learn something actually valuable? Come on, doesn't need to be from JMAA TV channel, but I want to know because I am genuinely concerned. Have you seen that meme where Belma could not draw art without their video essays such as H Bomber Guy's Roblox Oof.mp3 or Folding Ideas as Line Goes Up? Most of humankind who grist themselves to consume video essay content on YouTube be like that a lot of times, treating valuable art forms in the form of video or anything as if it was just a mere background noise that entertains them while they're doing something else, like art or work, whatever it is that keeps you busy. I don't necessarily blame you. You got your attention span severely crippled by algorithms such as TikToks or YouTubes, and even for every lengthy commentary drama video from Moist Critical or Murahar, you got a channel that made an ADHD version of that summarizes said videos in less than a minute. It's a nightmare world out there if you want anybody to pay attention out there. It's incredibly silly that we as humans treat said content as if it was a pacifier of instant gratification, as a quick fix of dopamine. You want your dopamine, don't you, you big baby? This in turn is how the rich class wants you to treat said art forms, as if they were just a quick dopamine pacifier. So like an iPad kid with an iPad, you crave for more, generating them more profit. What they don't realize though is that like any finite resource, our attention is finite. We work to do, things to do in our lives that require daily attention, social life even. The idea that these corporations can isolate us enough to only dedicate our entire day's attention into the constant flurry of content, like binge watching Netflix or doom scrolling Twitter or even blindly consuming drama videos on YouTube, is a pretty dire prospect because they somehow already do it. Because even then, we treat this the same way as our parents treated reading the newspaper. To get a daily fix of anything that's beyond our control and feed the brain the equivalent of popcorn to our brains, empty brain calories to our brains. There's more valuable stuff out there on platforms like YouTube and such where at least you can learn a new skill. And speaking of little new skills, this video is sponsored by no one. Oh boy, if we are so conditioned by the commercial jingles that invade our send content on a regular basis. My God. See what happened here? A lot of the creative expression that comes with art forms of diverse nature, whether it is video, music, or even literature, has been lost and moshed all together into this bland slime where it's basically trying to sell something or even be remotely monetized, grabbing your finite attention to keep you hooked like a drug. And personally, I don't want that with our so-called content. Maybe our videos won't outperform people like Mr. Beast or even surpass the threshold of 1,000 views every time. But what we honestly want is for at least one person, one who is actually valuable in this world even, to come out of our videos and learn something valuable, but enough to make an important change in this world. That has been our core philosophy for a while. If you could learn something valuable here, is that you need to pay more attention. Don't just pay attention to whatever you can learn from our videos or from other similar channels who just want to make you better. Pay attention also to where the people who just want to basically hook you up to the social media drug for profit, because those are the people who are willing to waste your time for the profit. I'm dead serious.